Good afternoon for joining me from Austin, Texas. On behalf of the NMC, I'm delighted to welcome you to a very special members-only webinar, Meet the NMC Center of Excellence Award winners. I'm your host today, Alex Freeman, Senior Director of Membership and Special Projects at the NMC, and I'm joined by the NMC's Annie Davis, Michelle Cummins, and Gordon Jackson. The NMC Center of Excellence Awards is the highest honor bestowed by the New Media Consortium. The award recognizes distinguished member institutions that have demonstrated an exceptional record of success in the integration of technology with teaching, learning, or creative expression. This is one of the member benefits that we've highlighted over the year that we've opened up a submission process for, and we got quite a few submissions here in 2017 that we highlighted at the NMC Summer Conference. In this program, I'll announce some of our honorable mentions from this year's submissions, walk you through the submissions process, and then we'll get to hear from our 2017 winners. Jill Leifstedt from California State University at Channel Islands. Say hi, Jill.
Hello.
She's joined by Michael Bourbon. Hello, Michael.
Hey,
and then we have Dianna Hernandez from UNED, Costa Rica.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, great. Now, before we get started with the submission process and hearing from our winners today, I just want to do a shout out to our honorable mentions. So let me get a quick screen share here. So in part of the process, we had a lot of submissions and some really good ones that we want to highlight. So I'll just go ahead and get started with that. One of our highest honorable mention was Griffith University. Griffith University is a lead partner in the development of the Biodiversity and Climate Change Virtual Laboratory, an online platform that integrates spatial modeling tools and data sets with high-performance computers and major data storage facilities to investigate the impact of climate on the world's biodiversity. The BCCVL provides a solution to overcome limitations with working with spatial data, providing greater access to data and analysis tools for a broad audience, from undergraduate students and early career researchers to industrial professionals and academics. So wanted to recognize Griffith University for what they're doing with information visualization with large data sets. Next, we had the University of Western Australia. They're being recognized for their Center of Education Futures, which is two components, the Futures Observatory and the Education Futures Scholarship for Innovation in Teaching and Learning. The observatory is an activated space on campus filled with consumer and emerging technology to provide staff with new, supportive, and inspiring pathways to contribute to the development of learning and teaching practice. And their scholarship program provides staff with opportunity to partake in the scholarship of learning and teaching by investigating their ideas to innovate their practice as well. So want to recognize University of Western Australia for their Center of Education Futures. Next, we have Arizona State University. ASU and edX have partnered to create the Global Freshman Academy, a project that was featured in the 2017 Higher Ed Report. A first of its kind collaboration offering first-year college-level courses for academic credit on the edX platform. Students enroll in freshman-level GFA courses for free, building confidence in their college readiness with the option to earn academic credit for their work. Because students only pay for credit after they've successfully passed their courses, the GFA significantly reduces financial risk students undertake as they begin their college careers. And last but not least is the host for the 2016 Summer Conference, Rochester Institute of Technology. We want to recognize them for their Magic Center, their Center for Media, Arts, Games, Interaction, and Creativity. Magic is a new way of thinking about the relationship between academics, industry, and entrepreneurship. Magic consists of two approaches, an institute-level scholarship and production unit that allows affiliates to work across unit boundaries and studio for the polish and production of product by affiliates and student entrepreneurs. So let's give it up for 4 honorable mentions for the Center of Excellence Awards. Now I want to take just a few minutes to walk you through the actual submission process, because we want to make this as easy for you as possible. We want to get a lot of submissions in, and that's really the focus of this talk today, is to talk more about the program, share some stories, and to really encourage you to submit, because we'd love to have many, many more this year that we have to select from for our 2018 Summer Conference, which is going to be held in Denver, and it's going to be our 25th anniversary, so very special for us. So let me go ahead and do a quick walkthrough of what that looks like. So you'll want to navigate to the nmc.org website. is your first thing. And I'm already logged in, but you see in this top right area, it'll have an opportunity for you to log in so you can be recognized as a member, because that'll help you take you to that screen and help fill out your information. So what I'll do here is in the About section of the NMC.org website, we have a button for the Center of Excellence Awards. We'll navigate there. And you'll see the award featured at the top, and then a Submit button in the middle. And so we ask that you submit by April 1st for 2018 so that we have time to go through the rankings and then be able to reach out to the winners so that they can prepare for the summer conference. So I'm going to go ahead and click the Submit a Nomination, and it'll take you to this screen. It'll give you information about the awards, and most importantly, the selection criteria that'll guide you as you come up with your submission. This year, our submissions are as follows, the criteria. Innovation, creative, forward-thinking, ahead of the game, or innovator status of a new pedagogical integration of technology. Scalability is our other criteria. Demonstrated application across both the institution/organization and among other institutions/organizations. Quality is demonstrated successful outcomes across both the institution/organization and among other institutions/organization. And impact, demonstrated change/influence of culture across the education landscape. And quite important is our connection with the NMC Horizon report. The NMC Horizon connection provides a clear link to a trend, challenge, or developing technology that is featured in our most recent Horizon reports, or probable leading edge issue technology for future NMC Horizon reports. So as you can see here, we try to make this as easy as possible for you so that you don't have to take too much time on it. So putting in your name, institution, my email, phone number, oops, and it will remind you not to leave things blank. And then for each of those selection criteria, you'll have 250 words that you can describe how you're meeting that criteria. So 250 words for innovation, scalability, quality, impact, and then the Horizon connection. And then what we'll also ask for you is to provide some supporting URLs. Maybe there's a link to a project or a program you're working on or a department. Go ahead and put those in there so that we can have some links to refer to as we take it into the jury process. Submit a nomination, and then you will get a green box here that says your nomination was successfully submitted. Thank you. Have any questions? Email alex.freeman@nmc.org, and we will get notified as soon as that happens. Please let me know if you have any questions with the submissions process. Like I said, we want to have as many as possible this coming year. Now on to the winners of the 2017 NMC Center of Excellence Awards. I want to introduce Jill. She could say a few words, and then I will run your video. Jill.
Great, thank you, Alex. So I am Jill Leifstead. I'm the Executive Director of Teaching and Learning Innovations at Channel Islands, and our team was the one to submit the application on behalf of our campus. And I'm joined with Michael Berman, our Vice President for Technology and Innovation. And I think we can start with a video, and then I'll talk a little bit about our application and how we developed how we presented what we were doing.
Sounds great.
When CI opened its doors in 2002, we opened with a commitment to learning and innovation. Our mission, which focuses squarely on students and learning, has guided our every step. As we have grown, we have remained committed to finding new and varied ways to reach our diverse student body. In 2011, the campus dedicated resources and expertise to innovation around teaching and learning. This cross-divisional commitment has driven change. Through these efforts, we have grown into a campus dedicated to openness, humanized learning, and untethered approaches to work and faculty development.
At Cal State Channel Islands, we put our students at the center of everything we do. And in order to serve our students, we have to be innovative. And the best way to be innovative is to put together a group of smart and committed people and let them do what they do best. That's what's happened here, and that's why we're proud to be named an NMC Center of Excellence.
One of Teaching and Learning Innovations' main focuses on campus is expanding educational horizons for students and faculty by untethering our approaches. Untethering means removing time and space as barriers to learning. We use the best educational technologies and support to create learning experiences regardless of location. As a young campus, the number of courses and programs we offer continue to grow. With this growth, we focus on providing support to our faculty that will allow them to reach students in the classroom and on the go. Our next major tenet is assuring that all learning experiences involve instructor presence, student engagement, and a high level of interaction.
You know, when you look back on your college experiences, it's the people who inspired you that you really remember. And that's something we take to heart here at CI. Humanizing is a framework for the facilitation and design of online and blended courses. And it ensures that digital tools are used to keep human presence at the center of our students' learning experiences.
Teaching and Learning Innovations knows that the human interaction plays an important part in all forms of education. Our team is consistently working with faculty to learn how to bring themselves into the learning environment. We have a no-robot policy for online classes, and we do this by bridging the digital divide between face-to-face learning and digital environments in online classes. We offer our students and faculty a wide variety of support with high-quality technologies that allow for easy video conferencing, asynchronous communication, and video creation. The horizons of higher education has taken leaps and bounds in the 21st century, bringing new learning opportunities every day. Here at CI, we embrace openness in education and bringing the best of these learning opportunities to our campus community through Open Educational Resources, or OER. We work with our faculty to promote the adoption of OER and low-cost materials in the classroom through OpenCI, or our affordable learning solutions efforts on the CI campus, aimed at reducing the cost of course materials and improving early access while maintaining the quality of our students' learning. OpenCI launched in fall 2016 and saved students over $250,000 with additional $150,000 anticipated next fall 2017. Connected to our efforts to reducing cost and increasing the use of open materials is our focus on reclaiming the web. Our domain efforts, which provide all faculty and students with their own space on the open web, allows us to teach digital literacy and digital citizenship across all programs and co-curricular activities. Through CI Keys, our students and faculty develop their own space on the internet to share their knowledge, creations, and scholarship.
The world around us connects across various platforms and mediums using technology. As part of the Teaching and Learning Innovations team, I have learned having strong digital presence creates multiple ways for students, faculty, and others to connect, continuing to share, build, and grow as we learn together, ultimately creating meaningful connections regardless of place and time.
Thank you to the New Media Consortium for recognizing CSUCI as a Center of Excellence.
Okay, great. That was a great video. Jill and Michael, tell us a little bit more about your program.
Okay, let me pull my slides up here real quick. So I thought I would start, as we start talking, by giving just a little bit overview of how we organized our application. The process of applying for the Center of Excellence really helped us hone in what our themes are, and how all of our efforts across campus can be focused in these three large areas. But before I dig into that too much, I just need to recognize our entire team. We have our small team there in the middle that is changing composition a bit right now, but that is our core team that got us kicked off the ground. We then have very important faculty partners that join us. We have rotating faculty fellows, and those are on our team with the intent that they continue to bring new ideas, and they keep us connected to the student learning, which is our ultimate mission, to improve student learning. We also have faculty partners that help us with the quality assurance, assuring that our blended and online programs stay up to par and have that humanized element in them. So I wanted to recognize everybody in this picture here real quick. They're downstairs, I believe a few of them in the studio watching, so thank you for joining us. So as you heard in the video, we have 3 primary tenets that we surround our efforts on. And the first is our idea of openness. So we take this throughout everything we do by Creative Commons licensing. We provide space for our faculty and students on the web, but generally, when we are developing, creating things, we have in mind that we want it to go beyond our borders. We want it to not only reach our faculty, we want it to reach beyond just our CI community. We want to share, learn from others, and make the world of higher ed just a little bit smaller in what we do. Michael, jump in if you have anything to say.
Oh, you got it.
Okay. The next big tenet we have is humanized learning. And this started out as humanized online learning. You might know some of the work of Michelle Pacansky-Brock. We quickly saw that this tenet went across all that we do here at CI. We started out as a small campus. We opened our doors in 2002 with a high level of faculty to student interaction and student to student interaction. We saw the impact of this and the success our students were doing and have aimed to keep that in all our learning opportunities as we grow. We have an opportunity that not many campuses have in that we started out really small and we've continued to grow. So over the last 15 years, we keep adding students. Keeping those human interactions in online, in blended, and in our face-to-face classes really helps our students succeed, and it provides a framework for the faculty to understand the importance of who they are as teachers for reaching the students. So I think by taking this concept and spreading it outside of the online environment where our no robot policy came in has had a large impact on all of our students and all of our teaching environments.
And I think it's really important for our instructors too. It keeps them involved and engaged, and exactly the reason why so many of them wanted to come to a campus like Cal State Channel Islands is because they care about students who want to be connected with them. And it's been really fun to watch how Jill's team has reinvigorated the teaching of so many of the faculty members here.
So the last of our tenets is one that evolved slowly. And we knew that we needed to reach faculty that weren't necessarily on campus. On our campus, like many public universities, we have a lot of part-time lecturers. We have a lot of people that are on campus 1 or 2 days a week. Some of our full-time people work remotely some days, and they're only on campus when they have a class or for meetings. So we knew the old idea of bringing people together for workshops wasn't going to work. So we set out to use all of the new tools that we had to develop an approach to faculty development that would reach everybody. So under this, we used social media, Facebook and Twitter. We used a blogging platform that quickly turned into, from our team writing blogs to our faculty partners and across campus, all faculty writing blog posts once a week about teaching and learning. We started every workshop that we do, we have an untethered approach. We write a blog post about it afterwards, and we make sure that all materials are available online through an interactive document. That then went a little bit further, and we thought, well, gee, that announcement that you send out can be a learning opportunity. So how do we create information for people that can't attend the workshop and aren't going to engage more than the email? How can they learn something on that? That continues to spread even further so that when people RSVP for events or to get a service on campus, the form that they complete has little tidbits of information that they can turn around and use in their teaching or in their practice on campus. So Untethering has really really taken off, and we are filtering that throughout our entire campus beyond our team.
It's having an impact on IT outside of the teaching and learning, so that, for example, recently when we had an all-hands meeting, we made sure that we had an online component for that as well, and we had one full-time and one part-time staff member who participated remotely, and we're very appreciative of the opportunity. They couldn't have been there with us otherwise.
Right. And I think what we've learned along those lines that's been interesting is how to integrate a in-person group with people that are remote. So we're continuing to make progress along those lines.
It's hard to do.
So those were our three big tenets that came out, and what the application process allowed us to really look into all that we're doing and make sure that, or to build those themes and align all of our work around those themes. So when we looked at the application, we saw these categories of innovation, scalability, quality, impact, and then the connection to the Horizon report. We wanted to help us clarify our message, both on our campus and beyond, about the work that we were doing. We were already involved with the Horizon report, so those connections were pretty easy. Starting at the bottom, we had applied to be highlighted in the Horizon report, and we're avid readers of the report, so we were able to make that connection. The innovation piece, we tend to, when I asked our team and beyond campus what we were doing that was innovative, there were little tiny pieces that came together. People would talk about, a really cool CI keys class, a class being taught on CI keys out in WordPress, or some little effort. So we stepped back to look at what are we doing that is on a systems level innovative? How are we organized? And we discovered that our themes were true, that they carried throughout all of these little projects. So we were able to put our application around the themes. Scalability, we really stepped back to see, is what we're doing growing? Are we going beyond, those early adopters that come in? Are we connecting beyond our walls? And what evidence do we have? So, the untethering approach allowed us to look at scale quite a bit. We stepped back and looked at who are the readers of our blog and what are they doing with it. So we spoke to faculty that had read or commented on our blogs and asked, did it change your teaching practice? Quality was an interesting one because with innovative practices, they tend to happen rapidly. If we want to call them innovative, we don't get stuck in the details, right? We keep moving. So I'm a data person. I like to look back and look at numbers, but the numbers weren't there for everything. Our open projects, we had data on what had been collected, so that was pretty easy. But we realized a lot of the quality could be measured in how things were spreading. And so we looked at the articles that we had published. We looked at who was, basically how was that being put into place, and the number of views, things like that. The impact piece was the most exciting because I think for our team at CI, we're often so busy with the innovating part and the going and the moving forward that we stop to look, or we forget to stop and look at how much we're impacting things. So we really stepped back to look at small things like the number of shares we had on things, the number of publications that had come out of our work, not only publications on our team members, but the faculty that had developed publications in all sorts of different settings around the work we were doing. The number of presentations that we had done at national and international conferences. And then the most important piece that this application helped us reflect on was the partnerships that had been formed. We stepped back and we recognized that through our work of Untethering, we had connected not only with our local community colleges and our partner campuses in the Cal State system, but also with campuses across the nation. So we were able to see how this idea of untethering was allowing us to have a greater impact than we would have in another way. And then we took some of those, going back to the Horizon connection, we took some of those innovative projects, the smaller ones that fit in our framework, and we looked for the direct impacts or the direct connections to the Horizon report. So I think that gives a little summary of the process we went through. 250 words is not a lot. So being organized and knowing what our themes were, and then having a few concrete pieces of evidence we could put in was helpful. I would say the overall process of writing the application helped us to clarify and better understand what we were doing. And then creating an under 5-minute video to express what we were doing also really helped us better understand ourselves. I don't know if you want to add anything else.
No, I think that one of the strong core strengths of what Jill's put together is a lot of serious self-reflection, and so this was a great opportunity for that self-reflection, self-assessment. But it also now gives us a kind of marker for where we were in 2016, 2017. And I think 3 or 4 years from now, we'll probably look back and laugh and say, oh, we were doing that, or we thought that was such a good idea. We've moved on from that. So I think it'll be an interesting kind of historical marker for the organization, which I am confident is going to continue to increase its impact and innovation and scalability over time. So thanks, Jill.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jill and Michael. We'll come back to you after we speak with Deanna. Once we'll have some opportunities from take some questions from the audience and some questions that we had kind of come up before the program. Next, I'd like to move to our second NMC Center of Excellence Award winner, Dianna Hernandez. And want to give you a moment to introduce yourself, Deanna.
Okay, thank you. Hello to everyone. I'm really happy to be here today. I am the Fab Lab coordinator in UNED's Costa Rica. I hope you join the video.
All right, so UNED Costa Rica, I'm going to go ahead and do a shared screen, and we'll show you the video that they created for this NMC Summer Conference.
Costa Rica is a small country located in Central America, right between Panama and Nicaragua. With a population of only 5 million and 51,100 square kilometers, we are global leaders in sustainable development and education. In 1948, Costa Rica abolished the army and decided to invest up to 8% of its gross domestic product in education. The Distant State University was founded in 1977, focused on bringing opportunities to women, people with disabilities or in social risk, and other excluded groups. Nowadays, UNED is the second university on registration, and it is the only one with campuses in penitentiary centers and indigenous territories. In Nobi culture, a Costa Rican indigenous group, Atrare means space of light. That's why we named our Fab Lab after that. We are Diana, Esteban, Sterling, Carolina, Ana Maria, and Farid. And we manage a creative space for makers, students, teachers, and any other member of the community. In multidisciplinary teams, we work on finding solutions to problems on biology, conservation, medical devices, education, autism, art, and other topics. As a good member of the New Media Consortium, we do research on most of the technologies listed in the Horizon report. We work on 3D printing, open source as Arduino, Raspberry Pi, and Littlebits, augmented reality, and artistic technologies as video mapping, generative art, and pixel mapping. 3D printed biodiversity. 2 years ago, we thought that the harlequin frog was extinct. However, some biologists discovered that we were wrong because the population of this frog just decreased. Now we are working together, making 3D printed frogs to discover what happened to the species. Science through art. Space-Time is a multidisciplinary art project that mixes dance, music, lighting, video mapping, and other technologies to explain space-time theories through human history. We created interactive spaces where visitors could learn and share with artists and scientists. Open source for everyone. We work hard on making open source part of every class at UNED. That's why we added an Arduino kit as material for the course Special Needs on Education, so students could make their own prototypes. We are also giving Raspberry Pi kits to those students who cannot afford a computer so they can do their homework and personal projects. Empowering women. Technology is a great tool to empower socially excluded groups. That is the reason why we're giving Fab Lab scholarships to 5 women. They are developing digital fabrication skills through Arduino, laser cutting and 3D printing, and making prototypes as part of an entrepreneurship program to help them start their own businesses. We do care about quality, scalability, and impact of our projects. That's why we work with nonprofit organizations, high schools, private and state universities, government offices, and other Fab Labs. Every project has a pilot or prototype, which is validated, methodized, and returned to the people we work with. This way, we are certain it is relevant for us, the university, and the global community. Today, we are very proud of receiving the Center of Excellence Award 2017. That's why we want to say to all of you, our dear friends, thank you very much. And of course, we look forward to your visit at Fab Lab Catrari.
Okay, great. Well, congratulations, Diana and UNED Costa Rica.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, there you go. All right, so tell us a little bit more about Catrari.
Okay, that's the real team of Catrari. I want to share with you another 4 projects that we are currently developing in Catrari. The first one is planning surgery. In this project, we work with a maxillofacial specialist giving support using a CT scanning to plan some of the procedures and surgeries. First, we had to clean CT's image. Then we print the 3D model to do tests. This way, the doctor was able to reduce the surgery time and select the medical pieces and elements properly to better help the patients. The second one is augmented reality. This year, the National Theater of Costa Rica is celebrating 120 years. In Catrari, we work with them, creating 3D models of 2 of the most iconic elements of the theater that usually people can't see during their visits because of their security standards. Using a free-to-use app like Aurasma, people will see the 2 elements in 3D because they will be linked to certain pictures in the memorial book. Virtual reality. We have projects to support the educational materials used by the students in their courses. For example, we are working on a pilot project for the criminology major where students can use virtual reality to represent crime scenes in order to analyze and study them. This technology allows them to have an interactive experience all the time with the detail they need to perform better. Open educational resources. This year we created videos to help every person understand the basic functions of the Arduino and how to use a Raspberry Pi as a computer. Finally, I want to share with you some of the best things that happened to us thanks to the Center of Excellence Award. Winning this award gave us a lot of opportunities to share our projects with all the country as well as with the world. Since we won the award, we raised a lot of interest from the media to publish all about the FAO Lab and their other projects and initiatives, and how all of them support the education, the innovation, and creativity. We have ads related to the award in the national newspapers, in television, in the social media of institutions related with education, innovation, and academic research. Even the university authorities and I were invited by the president of the country to a session of the government council with the ministers and executive directors of the public sector to congratulate the institution and the FAO Lab for our work. Well, thank you very much for your attention. If you have any comments, I'm happy to hear you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dianna. All right, now that we've gotten a chance to hear from our winners today, I want to encourage you to use the chat function to ask any questions that you have about the work that they're doing on campus or anything related to their submission process. I'm going to take some time to do a Q&A here with our winners, and it'll give you a time to think about any questions that you might have and drop them into the chat. So I'll start with Jill and Michael. Why did you decide to apply for the award?
I think the timing was right. But first I have to say to Dianna, we did not get to meet any president of our country or get any acknowledgement. So I really...
We're okay with that. We're okay.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Yes, it's a very, very emotional moment. But it's really nice because it's the first time that the university have the opportunity to present the award or a project to the president. It's a really good thing.
That's wonderful. So happy for you.
Thank you very much.
So back to the question, Alex. We decided to apply for the award because we thought it was time to organize, and for me, I really wanted to recognize our team. We've been slowly growing, pushing so hard, working our way around roadblocks, and it was time. It was time to acknowledge everybody, and the award seemed to really fit what we were doing. It seemed as if you were looking for a campus and a group within the campus that was trying to push boundaries to create change, and I felt like that was what we were doing. So it really was a good match, and a really great opportunity to acknowledge all the hard work of everybody on our campus, and specifically in our Teaching and Learning Innovations group.
Jill and I have been involved in a lot of conversations about the relative merits of big disruptive change versus incremental change over time. And I think for our campus, the better approach was the incremental change over time. So sometimes you lose sight of just how much has happened. And so again, I think it was great to kind of put a marker in the sand and say, what have we done up to now? And it's remarkable. I think that even if we hadn't won the award, I think Jill and her team would have been able to look at that application and say, wow, this is pretty amazing what's happened here in the last 5 years. I think I can honestly say that there are people on campus, if you had told them 5 years ago what was going to happen, they would have said, no, this is impossible. These things would never happen at this campus. We'll never get the resources. Nobody will care. I kept having somebody whispering in my ear, oh, faculty don't care about teaching online at this campus. They don't want to do it. It's because they didn't know what it was. And once they knew what the opportunity was and how it could help their students and how they could participate in a meaningful way that would actually enhance their teaching and not detract from it, then we've gotten tremendous interest. And I think that qualitatively, we have some real evidence that as Jill mentioned before, that we've moved well out of the early adopters and perhaps even beyond the sort of first, whatever the next tier is, but really into the middle, because we're seeing people come forward and ask to participate who not only were not interested, but actually were naysayers 5 years ago. And so that's, I think, evidence of impact. And I don't think that those people ever would have come along if we'd started with a big disruptive bang, they would still be out there on the barricades trying to stop what we're doing. So, but again, I think that when you're doing something incrementally, you do have to try to take a good look at what's happening over time, so you can see the very real impact that you're having.
Right. Good chance to stop and celebrate.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what the NMC community is about. I mean, our members are making the change happening, are transforming campuses, and it's really a great opportunity for us to provide some support and be able to confirm that yes, we believe that this is a campus that is someone to look at and to understand how they're working so that you can help improve your own campus. To UNED Costa Rica, Dianna, what made you decide to apply for the award?
Well, we have a lot of reasons, but I think one of the more important was to share with the country, with the world, the impact of our projects. We want to have more projects with low cost, but with high impact, and that's what we do. And it's a good thing for the university, for the students, for the teachers, and for the country. Finally.
Yeah, great. That's a good point. When I started talking to folks about this opening up the prize, the award for self-nominations, I felt like a lot of our international members gravitated towards submitting proposals because it's another way that they can get recognized in an international spectrum.
Yes, that's a good reason.
And back to Jill, I want to talk to you a little bit about your specific work that you're doing. OER was a major feature of your teaching and learning innovation efforts. Can you describe why this is important to Channel Islands, and what are some lessons you've learned that can benefit other NMC institutions interested in pursuing OER, a big topic in our Horizon Report series?
Okay, so first of all, one of our coordinators for OpenCI is on the webinar right now. So a shout out to Jamie Hannon. She's one of our nursing faculty and one of our coordinators. OER is very important to Channel Islands. We're an access-based university, and a tremendous number of our students are low-income students. They're first-generation college students. And the unpredictability of textbook costs, let alone just the affordability piece, can be the difference between a student staying in school for the semester or not. It's the difference between, they're paying rent or purchasing their textbooks. Well, which are you going to do? So the affordability piece is just in our everyday world. This is one piece of creating college, more affordable college. As we took over this project on our campus, we started really looking into the opportunities that OER offered to build the digital literacy of both our faculty and our students, and to get our community to understand the dynamic nature of knowledge and information on the web. The ability to reuse, remix information, for students to be authors and creators instead of consumers of knowledge was really important. And so the affordability piece is just a given, and the OER piece is the piece that's going to take us into that next step. The other piece that we realized is that OER provides a different on-ramp for faculty and students into this digital world. So we know not everybody is going to enter through a social media platform or through taking their class online, but a whole different group of faculty are willing to look at their course materials and look at the opportunities that changing those course materials provide. So we have found that it's a completely different group that will approach us about using an OpenStax textbook and combining that with other materials, or how do I create an assignment where students can curate the course readings for the next semesters, then those that will come to us for other reasons, creating videos or creating interactive assignments. So OER really, when we dove into that, opened a whole world of possibilities, and it's just a great match for our students and our faculty.
The textbook is an academic zombie. It's dead, but it's still walking. And the reasons have nothing to do with, the reason why it's still standing has nothing to do with technology. It's because an entire generation or multiple generations of faculty were implicitly taught that the way to organize a course is around a textbook. And they've come to depend on that. And so it's not easy to make that change. And so I think is the first step if we can say, here's a bundle of things that will do for you what a textbook did for you before, whether it's an open textbook or it's some other kind of set of resources. That kind of breaks open the logjam of textbooks as the way of organizing courses. Because then once you have that in your hands, then you realize that there are different ways you can do it. And as Jill said, all the things you can do with involving your students in the creation of knowledge rather than just the consumption of knowledge, allowing you to take it apart and put it back together in new ways, I really think creates opportunities. But it's going to take a long time because that's one powerful zombie still walking down the road.
Any lessons that you've learned that you can share with other NMC members about this affordability access issue and how they can begin implementing OER?
I think affordability is the on-ramp. And again, using that untethered approach, right? So if you get somebody to the table to talk about reducing costs for students, how do you create an environment where they're prepared to see what the possibilities for OER are? So that's the main thing, is getting people to the table and then looking at what is open pedagogy? How can you disrupt everything that you're doing in the classroom to better meet the needs of students? And that making that jump we found is challenging. That's still something that we're working on. Jamie is currently developing a course. It's just 20 minutes a day for faculty about openness, about OER and open pedagogy. And so we're taking some of those people that came to the table, they joined about affordability and they see there's possibilities, and how do we jump them to that next stage of changing how they're teaching and impacting how students are learning. So just little pieces of information all the way around are really, really important, and models. I
think another thing that's really important is using faculty peers.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if it had been driven by other people on campus other than faculty, I think there would have been a lot more skepticism. And the fact that it was peer-to-peer and faculty members saying, I'm doing this, you can do it, I'll help you get there, was a big key to the rapid adoption.
Yes, and I must say, I'm not sure if Jacob is in the studio, but Jacob Jenkins is Jamie's partner in crime and the other coordinator, who's another faculty member. And that's been a real hallmark for getting adoption, is to have faculty leading the effort.
Excellent. Yeah. All right. Thank you. I want to move over to Deanna and ask a question about your submission. As a first Fab Lab in a public university of Costa Rica, can you explain what you needed to do in order to get started?
Well, at the beginning, it was a difficult process because a Fab Lab is an open space for everyone, and that's not common in a public institution. Besides, the Fab Lab needing human and technical resources the institution didn't have 4 years ago. However, in our case, the support from the authorities was essential to obtain everything we needed. I think that it's important to know that the human group in a Fab Lab is what makes the difference. The main thing is to have an interdisciplinary team with a real commitment with innovation and educational processes. That's really important for a Fab Lab.
Great. I know that you got to meet the president and get some really positive press. How did the impact of the award help the continuation of your work? Is it helping with any additional funding, or is it primarily just a recognition on the work that you're doing?
The award it's really good, but now we have a lot of work, more than the work and projects that we have before the award. It's good because we talk about with the authorities, with the president and the ministers about to transform the way humans learn and teach in a Fab Lab. Every day in these spaces like the Fab Lab, people elaborate projects, dream prototypes to create new solutions to meet their own needs and the other needs. teach one to another and interact with members or visitors. And we think it is the way the education should always work. So that's a good experiment and a good beginning for the education process and the change we want for Costa Rican education.
Great. How about you, Jill? What impact did the award have on the continuation of the work at CSU Channel Islands?
Well, I think it's been a huge motivator for us to keep going. First of all, that's on a personal level. We have gotten some nice recognition. We were had a nice write-up in the news, and I had my alma mater, UC Santa Barbara, recognize me. So that was nice after seeing the press release. We were also on a radio show, invited to talk about our work after this. So that's, just kind of, it's again, those little things adding up, right, to get us the recognition. So I think on a more personal level, it also kind of gave a boost of confidence. You do this work, and higher ed is often isolating. You go to conferences and share ideas and what have you. But, to sit here with Deanna and listen to the fabulous work and to think that, we both won this award, it really does keep us going, and it builds our team's confidence. We have everybody but B is pretty young on our team, and for them to be recognized and to know that the work they're doing really is cutting edge, it's not just what you do every day, has made a tremendous difference. And it's going to keep us going and keep us moving on and sharing. I think that sharing piece can make you feel really busy. And this award helped us understand how important that is, because we can learn from each other. And I'm going to try to get a trip out of Costa Rica somehow.
Yes, that's a really good. You're invited. The doors are open.
Okay.
Great. And Jill, what advice do you have for those applying for the award as we wrap up today's program?
I would say just do it. It's not that onerous of an application, and take that time to reflect on what you're doing and pull it together. The application, for us, we had the links, we had the resources available online. It was just a matter of organizing around the topic areas that NMC provided. And it was a really great experience for us, something we needed to do. It was the right time. So I would just tell people to take some time and do it. We did it as a collaborative effort. So threw it on a Google Doc, and the whole team gave their input. And it was a good experience to bring us all together and really focus us in on our big themes.
Great. How about you, Deanna? What advice do you have for those applying for the award?
I think the same that you. Just do it. Let the world know about your work and the way you make the difference in your country, in the world. I don't know, have confidence in you and in your team. That's the only thing that you need.
Great. Okay, any questions from the audience before we wrap up today's program? Give you a minute to throw something in the chat or the Q&A. Not seen anything come in. Okay, well, to wrap up today's program, I want to thank Deanna, Jill, and Michael on behalf of the NMC for taking time to share more information about what they're working on their campus. And hopefully this encourages you, NMC member, to submit an application. We'd love to have as many as possible this year. As I mentioned, this is our 25th anniversary in 2018. We'll be in Denver, and hope to be able to recognize you there. Participants, if you're not an NMC member, I think you are, but if you haven't, please have people join us. Join the NMC membership. We'd love to have more folks be part of this community of innovators. So if you have some friends at other college campuses that aren't NMC members, I'd encourage you to just point in my direction, alex@nmc.org, and I can get the conversation rolling. Regarding our webinar programs, we have one coming up next week. Next Wednesday, we have Innovation Implementation Learning Curves, where we'll dive into how do these organizations keep up to speed with some of the projects that are coming their way, and be able to solve any of the challenges that come with it. So if that's any interest of yours, please join us on our NMC events page. That's October 18th here on our NMC webinar platform. So thank you all for joining us today. And with that, I'm going to bid you a couple minutes adieu. Bye.